The banquet hall was dazzling, filled with the richest people in the city. Crystal chandeliers shimmered overhead, violins played softly in the background, and waiters in white gloves served golden trays of delicacies. Among the crowd of silk gowns and tailored suits stood a girl in a borrowed dress, nervous, lost, and completely out of place. Her name was Alina. She hadn't come here by invitation. She was simply delivering an envelope for her employer, a small errand at the hotel where she worked as a cleaner. She had no intention of stepping into the grand ballroom, but a wrong turn led her inside, and the moment her eyes caught the glittering lights, she froze. For a second, it felt like she had walked into another world. And then, she sat. She didn't realize it was the main table. She didn't realize the chairs were reserved for the city's most powerful business leaders. She was just tired, and in her nervousness, she took the nearest empty seat, clutching the envelope to her chest. Gasps rippled across the table. Whispering began. A woman in diamonds sneered, "Who let the maid in here?" Another laughed under her breath, "Look at her dress, it's probably secondhand." Alina's cheeks burned. She wanted to disappear. Her hands shook as she tried to stand and leave. But then, a voice stopped her. "Stay." The command was firm, yet gentle. All eyes turned toward the head of the table. It was Adrian Kane, the youngest CEO in the country, a billionaire who built his empire from nothing. He was feared by competitors, admired by investors, and unreachable to ordinary people. And yet, at that moment, he was looking directly at Alina. "Sit," he repeated. The mocking silence broke. Some guests protested, but Adrian's gaze silenced them instantly. Alina sank back into her chair, her heart racing. She couldn't understand why a man of his status would defend her. As the dinner went on, Adrian began asking her questions. Simple ones at first: her name, where she was from. Her voice trembled as she spoke, but she answered honestly. She told him about her sick mother, about working multiple jobs to keep food on the table, about how she had dreams once, dreams of studying, becoming a designer, but life had been too cruel. The table went quiet. No one laughed now. Adrian listened carefully, his eyes never leaving hers. And then he said something that shocked everyone. "You remind me of myself." Whispers spread again. Adrian Kane, the man who had clawed his way from poverty to riches, had just admitted he saw himself in this poor, trembling girl. Throughout the evening, Adrian didn't let the conversation drift back to business deals or superficial gossip. Instead, he kept drawing Alina into discussions, making her voice heard among people who usually looked down on her. For the first time in years, Alina felt valued. But the night didn't end there. When the gala was over, Adrian walked her out. "Do you know why I asked you to stay?" he said quietly. She shook her head. "Because I've sat in your place before," he admitted. "I know what it's like to be invisible in a room full of people who think they're better than you. But you belong here as much as any of them." Tears welled in Alina's eyes. That evening changed everything. The next week, Adrian's secretary called her. He had arranged a scholarship for her to study design, fully funded. At first, Alina refused. She didn't want charity. But the note attached to the offer read, "This is not charity. This is a door. Walk through it." And she did. Years passed. Alina worked harder than anyone else in her classes. She poured her soul into every sketch, every project. Slowly, she built her name in the fashion world. Her designs carried the rawness of someone who had known struggle, and the elegance of someone who had learned resilience. People loved them. One evening, standing backstage at her first international fashion show, Alina spotted him in the audience. Adrian Kane, watching quietly, a small smile on his lips. Their eyes met, and in that instant, she remembered the night he told her to stay. Her life had changed because one man saw her worth when no one else did. And now, she stood not as the poor girl who sat at the wrong table, but as a woman who built her own.